Welcome to Laguna Seca. This is the second round of the GRC Championship at this spectacular circuit in the USA, home to the Corkscrew Corner, which is world famous, and we'll no doubt see plenty of action in the race today. This is the sprint race, and our pole position we have Andre Herseg of the GMT Seat team. Wayne Belcher takes second on the grid despite a weight penalty for being the championship leader. Richard Fisher up third in the Skoda, Johan Pejula fourth, Chris Askew fifth, Peter Larson sixth, Paul Charman in seventh. Ferry Pavets takes an excellent eighth, followed by Andy Griffiths in the AAA Racing Skoda and Rob Wheatley for Wheatley's Wheels. The red lights are on. And it's go in Laguna Seca. Andre gets a good start, takes the whole shot as they move up the hill and over the crest. So Johan Pejula has maintained his third place. Chris Askew's come up on a very good start, up past Richard Fisher, and so has Paul Charman as they're heading to around the first turn. Andre's got a clear lead now from Wayne. He seems to be something of a first lap specialist. He always seems to put in an amazing first lap. Wayne's currently pulling away nicely from Pejula in third, but Herseg is going away like a train as they all file through the corkscrew for the first time. Everyone's still close together, jostling for position. You see one of the SRM BMWs going a little bit wide there, and an aggressive line from Rob Wheatley in the Skoda. Everyone through safely, including as Andy Yates in his first race, and Maria Wheatley taking the spectacular route. So as they come up to on lap one, we have the order is Herseg, Belcher, Pejula, Askew, then Fisher as they come around the last turn for the first time. Andre looks like he's got a good couple of seconds advantage over Wayne as they pop on down. So two front wheel drive cars leading the field, and rear wheel drive BMW next as they go into lap two. Popping down there as we switch back to Richard Fisher for the battle of 4th, 5th and 6th. As all heading down into push one, and Paul Charman's dived out and gone into the inside, down round turn one, and he's caught Richard napping there. I don't think he was expecting that. And he's now covering the inside line, but he's got clear away. Richard's going to have to see if he can get him back later on, as we now look back to 12th place. Anthony Jones coming up, and he's gone over the curbs, but he's got pitched up into the air. That's going to give Steve Smith a good run on him, and he's passed him before the next turn. And we now have Urban Ortner is right up behind him with Hans Brouwer, his Porsche teammate, also wanting to get in on the action. Is Urban going to have a try into the uphill turn? He's going to have a go, but he's not close enough to have a go through. This is going to give Hans a run on him. We've got the two Porsche teammates side by side up the hill. This is giving Jones a bit of a breather, and I see Hans has made it through as they all head up towards the corkscrew. We now go on board with Hans Brouwer as they come down into turn 1 on lap 4. Still chasing Anthony Jones ahead of us. Coming out of turn 1 we have Porsche versus Skoda, rear wheel drive, front wheel drive. Porsche of course is the unique layout of the rear engine. This makes it quite agile into turns, but can be a bit of a handful if you're a bit too brutal. Hans is a very smooth driver and he's putting it to use very well. He keeps telling me he's not a sprint race person, he prefers endurance, but he's driving a storm in this race, and there he goes. He's really deep onto the brakes into the uphill turn. He's obviously loves this turn, and he's clean through. Back to the leaders on lap 8, and Wayne has closed in a bit on Andre. Popping down at turn 1. A lot of smoke, a lot of lock-up from Andre's into the first turn, and that's brought Wayne right up onto his tail. He's going to have his work cut out from now on. I'm just wondering if Andre's style is starting to cook the tyres, and he's losing pace. And Wayne looks like he's definitely got more confidence in the car. And he's really putting some pressure on. I think he's bided his time in the first laps and looked after the tyres a bit more. Back to the battle for 8th place. Hans is now right up behind Andy Griffiths with Steve Smith on his tail. And Andy runs a bit wide there, but he's covering his line into the next corner. But no, he's off the track again. and that Hans has had to check up, and Steve Smith has taken the opportunity to come around the outside of him, 3 wide coming down into the uphill turn. Is Hans going to try and defend into his favourite corner, and he has, and he's going to get a good exit out of there. He's still covering away from Steve Smith, so but yes, Hans has made it stick into 8th place. He's really driving it well, and that's why he slams the Porsche over the curbs going uphill to the corkscrew, really going for it. Back to Leeds, and they've only got 2 laps to go now. Andre looks like he's pulled out a bit of breathing space from Wayne as they come down through the corkscrew. 2 laps to go at the completion of this lap, as they come down the hill into the second to last turn. It looks like they've got a couple of black markers coming up. And what's a bit of a rough turn for Andre, clobbering over the curbs. Not a place to do it there, and looks like Wayne is closing in again. And come out onto the main straight. 2 identical cars, Seat Leons. Very quick cars, but quite hard on their tyres, and it looks like Wayne has looked after his tyres better. Coming down onto lap 11. 1 more lap to go after this one. And there's coming down at turn 1 again. A lot of lock-up, a lot of tyre smoke. That's normally from the unloaded inside rear wheel, as it comes right up off the ground during braking. And second turn, and Andre's starting to run wide in a few turns. I think he's feeling a bit of pressure here, and that's letting Wayne close in all the time, especially through these faster turns. Wayne has really got him, and he's right on him again. This is going to be an interesting last couple of laps for Andre. They still haven't caught this BMW. It's one of the Team of Cost BMWs, and Andre's definitely struggling through the faster turns. Wayne is right on him. Andre's going to have to be inch perfect if he's going to keep them off, and that's a much better corner there as he goes up the hill, and he's pulled out a bit of breathing space. If he can keep doing that, he has a chance of holding Wayne off until the end. And they come up to take the corkscrew again. We're only 1 more time through it after this. As they come down through there, it's a good turn from Andre, but a very aggressive line from Wayne, and that's going to bring him down the hill. They could be in a good position. Still haven't come up against the 2 back markers. Andrew's got to get through this corner, and Wayne's very good through here, and he's coming along, and he's carried huge speed through there. Is he going to let him get up on the inside? He is. He's going to go for it. The last turn is very, very tight. Is he going to get through? He has. He's made it stick, but now can he get good traction out of the corner? Andre's still riding the slipstream of him. He could be getting payback into turn 1 as they come up against Andy Yates. Is he going to get in the way at all? No, Andy pulls aside, back markers across. Wayne runs a defensive line at the turn 1, and Andre cannot get down the inside. He has to follow. Andre's held a very nice tight line this time, using the curb to help pull him round, and he's still on Wayne's tail. He's only got a few more turns, but he's got to stick with him through this fast stuff. But again, he's pushing wide, and Wayne's getting away. I don't think Andre's got the tyres to answer. Definitely not. Wayne's just doubled the gap in 1 turn. I think Andre is done as long as Wayne keeps it on the road. And he has without any problems. So winner of the sprint race, Wayne Belcher. Very exciting race. So that makes him 3 wins in the series so far. Well done to Wayne, ending up as a very commanding lead, even with the extra weight penalty. So our final top 10, Wayne Belcher for Unreal Racers takes his 3rd win, Andre Herseg, Global Motorsports in 2nd, Johan Pegeler of Swedish Racing Mates in the 3rd, and then his teammate Peter Larsen. Chris Askew in 5th for Martini Racing, and Ferry Bavets for Expar Racing 6th. Hans Brouwer taking a brilliant 7th place for Porsche Motorsport, followed by Steve Smith, Andy Griffiths and Mikey Max BMW rounding up the top 10. Stay with us folks, we'll be back for the feature race in just a little bit.